Imagine you work at the most celebrated animation studio in the world. You spent 18 months helping build what might be the greatest animated sequel ever made. And then, someone types one wrong command. In about 90 seconds, the movie is gone. Not corrupted, not partially damaged, gone. 90% of Toy Story 2. Every character, every scene, every frame that had taken a team of hundreds more than a year to create, deleted from the servers in under 2 minutes. And here's where it gets worse. They go to restore the backup, the one that's supposed to exist for exactly this reason. The backup had been failing silently for weeks. Nobody knew. There was nothing to restore. Toy Story 2 was gone. Well, almost. Here's something most people don't know. Toy Story 2 was never supposed to be a real movie. When Pixar first pitched a sequel to Toy Story 2, the idea was to make it a cheaper, faster, direct-to-video release. Lower budget, smaller team, a product, not a passion project. Disney wanted to sell copies to Walmart. Pixar just needed to make it. And then, about a year into production, someone at Pixar watched what they were building and realized something uncomfortable. This movie was actually really good. Like genuinely theatrically good. They made the decision to pull it from the direct-to-video pipeline and release it in theaters, which meant completely rebuilding huge sections of the film to meet the quality standard of a theatrical release. Which meant the team was already under enormous pressure. They were rebuilding a movie that had already been in production for a year. The schedule was brutal. The stakes were enormous. And then someone typed the wrong command. A technical director on the film was doing routine system maintenance. He ran a command, a legitimate command, something that would normally be harmless. On that particular system, on that particular day, it wasn't harmless. The files started deleting. He realized immediately something was wrong and pulled the power cord from the computer. By then, 90 seconds in, 90% of the film was already gone. Models, animations, lighting setups, scene files, over a year of work from hundreds of people. The team went to the backup drives. Standard protocol. Should have been fine. The backup system had been running a process that was quietly failing every night, for weeks. No error messages, no alerts, just silently not working. Nobody had checked it manually. There was no good backup. The room went quiet. Months of work. Gone. There was one person on the Toy Story 2 production team who had recently had a baby. She had been working from home, and because she was working from home, she had been doing something she probably didn't think twice about at the time. Copying the film files to her personal home computer every day so she could keep working. She had an almost complete copy of Toy Story 2 sitting on the computer in her house. A Pixar team member drove to her house, personally. They wrapped her computer, this regular home computer, in blankets, put it in the car like it was a newborn, drove it back to the studio. They recovered almost everything. The movie that was deleted, the year of work that was gone, was restored from a regular laptop sitting on someone's home office desk. Toy Story 2 released in November 1999. It currently holds a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It made over $500 million at the box office. The home computer that saved it? Nobody knows what happened to it. Probably still out there somewhere. After the incident, Pixar completely rebuilt their data backup and security systems. The accidental delete didn't just save Toy Story 2, it forced the creation of infrastructure that protected every movie that was made afterwards. Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, WALL-E, Up, Inside Out, every single one of those films exists on servers that were redesigned because someone typed the wrong command in 1998. There's also something quietly beautiful about the person whose home computer saved everything. She wasn't the director, she wasn't the head of technology, she was a new mom working from home, doing what any remote worker does, copying files to keep working. And that ordinary habit, something she probably did every day without thinking about it, is the reason one of the most beloved animated films ever made exists. Here's what I keep coming back to with this story. Pixar had every system in place: the backup drives, the protocols, the professional infrastructure of one of the most technically sophisticated studios in the world. And what actually saved the movie was a mom with a laptop. Not the system, the person doing the small, undramatic Tuesday afternoon habit of just copying her files before she logged off. We tend to think the most important things get protected by important systems. Big backups, official protocols, someone whose job is to make sure nothing goes wrong. But sometimes, the most important thing in the world gets saved by someone who had no idea they were saving it. Somewhere out there right now, you might be doing something completely ordinary that turns out to matter more than you know. Toy Story 2 almost didn't exist, and the reason it does is one person's completely unremarkable Tuesday.